It's Tanika. Thanks for coming back. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy. You tell me, don't let your friends come over here killing shit. You hear me?
They did. I ain't know he's gonna do that.
Hey, you make them respect the life over here. Don't come over here stepping on stuff. Those things are supposed to be on the ground. If they're not hurting you, leave them alone.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like when I'm inside, in a place where a spider or a bug can get where you can't see it and it can actually hurt you, okay. But whenever we're outside, that's where they're supposed to be at. I try to go out of my way to not kill the light any form of life outside of the house, outside of the car. You know what I mean? Okay. I don't even know who that is.
Okay, so the clouds are not moving, right?
Yeah, they're not moving.
No, they're not. I actually see some straight lines. Do you see that?
I see that too.
It looks like the Little Dipper. What is that?
Triangle. Can you see it?
Oh, that's a star. So I'm sitting in the bed. It's been a long time since I said that. I just thought I would sit in the bed with y'all for a minute. I'm actually in my sister's laundry room. Okay. It's a cool room. It feels very Beauty and the Beast, Vincent Attic-ish, okay? That's what it feels like to me. Anyway, I really wish that people would more so than not, like, think for themselves. Think for yourself. Unless you've done something that made you question yourself, then you would have to do the back work. You'd have to actually do the work to heal yourself so that you could trust yourself again. Like some of that is self-ministry because I've been through that and I'm doing that right now. Sister's been calling me out on all the makeup I've been wearing, right? And she specifically has an issue with what she thought was lipstick. Was whatever. I don't wear lipstick. I do. I mean, it's showing up a lot different on the camera. It's closer to nude in real life. But the camera is making it like luminous. It's metallic looking. I don't care. This is Burt's Beeswax Medicated Lip Balm. And I love it with the eucalyptus in it. And yes, there are other shades. But I do fancy this one. I wear it to sleep. It's not lipstick. It's a lip balm. I need to have my teeth cleaned so bad. I could use a good cleaning. I can't wait to get insurance again. And I was thinking about like before my life changed, right? Before the games that were played at my last job that caused me to lose my job. My stability was shaken. You know that I was not even like, I wasn't even putting, I won't say I wasn't putting up a fight. I was only speaking the truth. The truth that was very verifiable. And like if I had turned on that, you got me fucked, if I had turned that on, it just takes so much time. And for me, I just thought that, I could fight with you and kick the show ass, right? Because the truth wins. I don't give a shit what your name is or which money you got. I don't care. The truth wins. The truth. If anyone dares speak it, if anyone dare reflect it, if anyone dare document it, you can write it down. You can do it anonymously. It's just the truth. As long as you're telling the damn truth, and you can feel good about your behaviors and about your actions. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Just, okay. There are some times that I can go on a little tangent, I think about things. It does not mean that I'm not healed or that I'm not healing. I just reflect. It's like when I consider my situation, when I consider how many times I gave a person, job, or situation like my 100%, and I'm expecting a reflection of my effort. I'm expecting a reflection of the love. Not that I'm giving it to get anything back. It's not like that. My sister told me that my eyebrows were too dark, and I agree with her on that. I couldn't find my pencil, so I used I used the liquid liner that I usually only use on the tips, right? So now I'm looking very... It's not Mr. Bean. I think it's a Magoo. I mean, I've been on the camera several times with no fill-in. Like, I like my beauty. I think that every person is beautiful in their own way. And I mean, like, if you really ever just let yourself look at people and appreciate their features, everyone is beautiful. Like, we're all so different and unique. And even look at yourself. Just take a really good look at yourself. And some people consider it like mirror magic. But you can say that if the eyes are the window to the soul. You know, you can go ahead and let yourself look at yourself. Gaze upon yourself. And you look at yourself long enough, you start to look foreign to yourself. Have you ever done that? And then you talk to yourself. That's the other trick. Brush your teeth. Like if your right handed prominent, then you brush your teeth with your left hand while you speak the positive affirmation. You wake yourself up and you start loving on yourself and feeling yourself and experiencing like that adoration that you may have wanted from someone else. Because that's what I do. I'm in love with myself. And that right there, that's how come I would, as much as I loved both of my ex-husbands and my ex-boyfriends in between them, as much as I loved the female friends that we were so close, we were a couple of them, I felt like those were my sisters. I was going to introduce them to my sisters. But when you really love yourself and you see people who would hurt you or mislead you or play with you, like, because you genuinely love them, you don't have to tarnish them on your way to walk away. But you definitely, out of love for yourself, it's okay to leave some of those snares and pitfalls that you didn't know you've been playing ring around the rosies around for a long time. It is okay to evolve and mature and to love yourself. Like what I did is I believe, is everyone has the ability to do it. You see yourself for the hurt or broken child that's on the inside. Whatever you missed, if your father died when you were a child, or if your father was never there, or if your mother was never there, or if your mother stayed there and was so controlling and tried to dictate every aspect of your life, completely disrespecting you and dishonoring your needs and your wants for her for her standard. Like you need to make her proud in the absence of your father. The little girls who unnecessarily, like, you weigh in on your dad's relationship and he has a wife or a girlfriend that he is crazy about, and he doesn't know, like, he just knows he doesn't want to see his baby girl cry, and what she thinks of him is everything. Come in. Oh, so listen. No, listen. So I'm going to show you. What is it? It's like, what am I actually looking at? It's like, is it a coven of witches? I was like, little on me. Did you know that people, there are some people who have lifelong, like, chaos. It can appear like, on one hand, you're like, well, maybe you did something in the past life, or maybe this is your karma that is being lived out, that is being dished to you. But then people hope that it's that one. They cannot fathom it if they come to understand that they have been one of the chosen. The chosen. Mom and Daddy said, what will you be found doing? What are your deeds and your actions? Will you sow into yourself? Will you sowing into this soil that we walk on? What are you sowing into others with your words and your actions?
That's what you get when you come to this conscious
rant. I looked up
rant.
the word coven, and I was like, so it's a fancy word for clique, according to the dictionary. But see, when I think coven, I think back to women who I know for a fact are my sisters. My sisters who had, and brothers, because there were some male warlocks. They were a part of this also. Powerful, beautiful, masculine energy. They exist. They existed. They exist. But in a time when Christianity was, the people who I come from, a lot of us, our slavery is synonymous with our coming to know Jesus. Our people were introduced to slavery and Jesus at the same time. Some of our people on this planet. That does not apply to everyone. But I'm saying those people, male and female, who had spiritual gifts, their sense of discernment, their spidey sense was like hair trigger, feather trigger. Like they were picking up on shit. Those people who were clairvoyant, claircognizant? There are so many clairs, but I mean, if you had any special spiritual ability. Oh, can you guys close the patio door? Hold on. So I want some of this soda, but I am concerned that you drink out of the jug. Do you drink out of the jug? They burned them. If a man found himself I am recording. Okay, so I'm just finishing up in the car several days later. But basically, there was a time whenever if someone was tempted by like anything, if they went, especially if basically the person that's making the accusation, they could not substantiate their actions, or if they were so conflicted inside of themselves, where they are, I don't know, a man that finds himself lusting after a woman, or a child that cannot stop cheating, who was Tituba, you know what I mean? How was she wound into things, into, I believe it was, is it 3 stars for Sarah? And the many stories about the Salem witch trials, which that was done on a massive level, but there are other stories that are reflective of the condemnation of spiritually inclined individuals. And you can call it whatever you want to call it. Everyone is not Wiccan. Everyone does not worship Satan. And the people who don't even know who Satan actually really is, just excuse them in their ignorance. And if you're one of those people, excuse me for calling you out. Don't feel called out. Because I hope to evolve people, or to help evolve people, just to, again, think for yourself. To think for yourself and allow your beautiful mind, our minds are as deep as the oceans, as we go pretty deep, or we can. especially when we're talking about supernatural things and occurrences, and people who know things that don't even have the means to know things, they have always been feared. We have always been feared. And the crazy part is that everyone has some degree of spiritual intelligence. That's your ability to interpret facts and events and details that are placed in front of you. It's just a matter of what you choose to tap into. Because I don't hear everyone who denounces Christianity and who disagrees with all things Christian. I don't hear them on the flip side of that talking about their spiritual gifts. Like, you cannot really believe that we are all here, just flesh and blood, that miraculous recipe that made up the human body, whatever that was. But anyway, the point is, to the video of me and the crimson or burgundy wine shirt right before this one, I just wanted to follow up on that because I lost that footage. I don't have space. So now I do have space, and I guess I must have accidentally deleted that. But I just wanted to touch on that because it's like those people were sold out from people who also had they had their own spiritual gifts that some of them they never came to know what their gifts were. They could have been psychic. They could have been any one of the clairs. You should really look that up and just check and see what that even means. And why would it be so strongly rejected and so strongly prosecuted and persecuted and pursued? There are people that are literal witch hunters, and they call them witches. But if we're all using the power of our words, then for those people who like to pray, what is it? What is a seance but a combination of words mixed with intention? And there is spiritual ranking. There are people who have the actual power to manifest and to make certain things happen with their words. And then there are other people who are still tapped into that divine source, where just as they think it, these things they happen. They happen. But in most spiritual books of literature, it is the two or more coming together. Two or more. They gather in the name of God, not necessarily in the Lord of this earth's or this world's name. But there is something that's given juice to that prayer when two or more come together, especially if you do it in the name of a demonic figure, in the name of a spiritually majestic figure, a holy figure, a divine figure. Whoever is backing the words that puts that juice in. This is Baba. Yeah, I mean there are a whole bunch of entities and deities that you can pray to. I'm not even here to talk about that. I'm specifically talking about the people who have been hurt and targeted. That's my observation. I observed that as a child, and it's like, instead of a man just admitting that he is attracted to a woman back in the early 1800s, hell, even most recently in the 1900s, that he had a strange attraction for a woman other than his wife, she must have bewitched me. These women were pursued, hunted down, literally hunted down and slain, tarred and feathered, hung, burned alive, drowned. I mean, there are so many children. The child appeared to be talking to somebody that wasn't there. The child is bewitched. The child is possessed. Just anything to take your mind and your spiritual gifts and hold them captive, just to condemn you. And when I consider if what I've been dealing with, right, if what you've been dealing with, if you have observed it, if this is what's actually happening for me, if I've encountered a coven of witches and warlocks, if it's something going on like that, it's like, I don't practice witchcraft or voodoo or black magic. I don't make voodoo dolls. I don't pray I don't pray to the same people that everyone else prays to, and I never, ever pray against anyone. I never prayed that one of my exes, I know that you're using your career to basically scavenge this place and pick up women and men as you can find them. I never called your boss and told them, yeah, if you just check them on their lunch times, you'll see that they're over here getting busy in this hotel. That's a form of witchcraft in that I'm using my words in a malicious way to tear someone down, to manipulate the circumstances and or the outcome of a situation. Well, I'm not trying to hurt anyone, and I never have. But a lot of people, when they don't know what your power is and what's backing you, what's actually giving you the authority in a situation, people assume a lot of things. And so they take those assumptions and they run with those assumptions and just be like, yeah, she must be. And so then they find a way too. Sometimes they hire witch doctors and spiritual shaman and other witches. They do so with the order of spiritually executing me and anyone who they decide to target. For my spiritual practitioners that are watching me, that are listening to me, and you can tune in from wherever you tune in from, there's a vibration that comes with the request. When people come to you asking you, they telling you their situation, and they're calling holy judgment on someone that you have never met. You are expected to be sound in your judgment and who you practice for, who you steer up these potions for, who you conjure up these spells for. You're supposed to be spiritually, consciously doing that. And really, when you really consider this, most of the people who you are doing the work on, these are chosen ones just like you. These are people who have spiritual gifts. Like in my case, I haven't worked against anyone, nor will I ever, because I understand the laws of karma. It doesn't mean that I never ever wanted to get some sucker. I never wanted you to experience what you caused me to experience, but I'm not going to be the one to render that verdict to you. Like I feel convicted even thinking like that about people. That's why I never understand how people let themselves go so far. You go so far as to actually do work against someone else. It's just like, but anyway, there's a price to pay when you do that shit. When you try to throw off the natural order of things. And I think that there has to be a special price. I hear that we are demoted. You get demoted spiritually when you work against and you hinder others. Because if whoever you say God is loves all of us, he loves all of us. So the ones of us that do nothing to better this place, on top of the ones who actually intentionally work against good to tear this place down even further. But you can never truly permanently hurt or tarnish the earth. It's going to heal itself. It will outlive you. Well, you in this flesh anyway. However, whatever happens to you after, if you actually have a soul, and this body is your human experience, it's a shell that houses the spiritual being of you. That's I'm on a whole nother tangent. But anyway, if that is what is happening, if I have gained the attention and adoration, positive or negative adoration, of anyone, probably like a coven of witches. I was thinking like the Masons, or Eastern Stars, one of those sacred brotherhoods. It can be a fraternity, another brotherhood or sisterhood, for how close some of my enemies pulled together and stuck together. Was it Cardi B that was saying, for basically first you hate me, then she hate me, and then y'all become friends based on the hate that you have for me? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? To people that haven't done anything to you. I haven't tried to take your job. I haven't talked about you and slid you under that bus in the motor pool. You know what I'm saying? Telling all your shit so that you would lose anything. Take your man. I didn't try to turn your children against. I didn't try to show you I'm not competitive. I just show up and I be me. That's it. But I'm just saying, for the people who target, if I've been targeted based on my spiritual gifts and the light that people saw inside of me and all around me, that I haven't always been conscious that I even have that. Those people ought to be ashamed of themselves, because we are alike in that way. And guess what? If you were sharp enough that you observed it, that you see that in me, that you see it in anyone, that in and of itself is a spiritual gift. There are some layers of your veil that's already being pulled back. Nobody can take that away from you. You should be trying to harness that and understand what that means and how you can use it to help people, how you can use it to help yourself. Those men and women that people get with them and they try to deceive you. People get with you and try to deceive you. They try to play on you. That thing that makes you think twice, like, I don't know, you got off work at 6 o'clock and you're not home until 7 o'clock, like that could be something. I don't know what the hell that is, but it could be nothing. That thing that makes you continue to go back to that, it could be something, and it makes you dig. You be like, I don't want to be that one. Like, I'm not stalking you. I'm not going to interrogate you or badger you. I'm not doing that, but I feel like you might not be telling the truth about that. A guy broke up with me years ago, right? He broke up with me, and he really did not have an answer. After basically telling me that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me, telling me that he believed that it should have always been us, and even apologetic, about all the different ways that we both dropped the ball with each other, and how we missed each other in that connection. And I did my part to come together with this man. And it's like, at the end of it, and it was short-lived, and I appreciate that neither one of our time was wasted any longer than it needed to be wasted. But at the end of it, because he knew that I was waking up spiritually, he didn't even really know what that was, but I was very transparent with him, and I was like, hey, there's some shit going on, and I don't even know what all this is that's happening to me or with me, but I'm waking up to it, and I don't know if it's that I have spiritual gifts, or if this is just my life path and I am being obedient to it. But I think it was scaring him, and I think it made him curious. And so instead of him telling me, just disclosing what exactly did I do to turn you off and to make you want to walk away from me, he was like, what do you think that it is? And I was like, I'm not sure, because I've already done everything that I needed to do to prove to you. Like, I'm not in a relationship. This is the proof. Like, he actually never asked to see the proof, which was really odd to me. That's why I thought that he trusted me, because he never asked to see the proof. But anyway, he was asking if I had talked to my best friend, and asked me if I talked to different people. I'm like, who? Them motherfuckers matter? Like, is this me and you? And so it made me get into I was in defense mode. Like, are you talking about the spiritual gifts that I'm just now even waking up to? Like, you're asking me to use that and tell you why you might be breaking up with me and walking away from me? I forget what I actually told him, but the truth to that answer, I don't know that he's even looking at my stuff. I haven't spoken to him in so many years. We have not spoken in so many years. But thinking back, I believe it was first and foremost that I hurt his feelings a long time ago. Like, I hurt his feelings really bad, and it was nothing malicious. It didn't change the fact that it hurt him. So maybe he thought about that long and hard before actually officially letting me back in his heart. But then the second thing was that he had a group of friends and guys and gals that served with him a long time ago, who he let them know who I was and how he ended up where he was. And they see me as that ex, okay? She's Venom, okay? Like, of all people, you can't give her ass a chance. So if anyone had tried to get with him while he was talking to me, that would have been an automatic fail for them. They would have strongly advised him against that in the first place. But he wasn't sharing any of the positive aspects about me. But anyway, these are things that came to mind. This is in my intuition. And I didn't voice that because I'm like, I'm not going to attack your battle buddies. I'm not going to attack your daughter, who she was just a little girl. I'm like, she hasn't even said anything. You know, she doesn't even know anything about me to object to my presence. Right? She can't object to me being in his life because she didn't know about me. And she was too young to process who I was. And so I was like, maybe if I'm feeling right intuitively, maybe it's, you don't want to have to explain to her how come you're not with her mother. How come you're with me and not with mommy? Even though that guy and mommy hadn't been together in years, and I do mean years. He just, that's a delicate situation, and I understood that. He never said it, but I knew it. Then there's also a friend of mine who I thought was a friend, and he knew apparently before I knew that she was no friend to me. I think that she had something to do with his change of heart. And then there were some people, 2 females that I can think of that he did tell me about that were trying to talk to him like they were just talking to him just as friends, but they're seeing that his heart is being reawakened. He is being emotionally resurrected, because now he's talking to them about me, whereas before that this fella and his female friends, they were just talking about their toxic ex-husbands and their toxic husbands, their toxic boyfriends. Well, now they go from him being on protective friend mode, guy friend, brother mode, like he's an excellent friend to have, a truly good friend, like will not tempt you. If you're his friend, he is the gentleman to the 10th power. He is. But when a man starts talking to a woman, to women, about his love interest and a woman that he is interested in, that can sometimes start the wheels of spinning where they're like, well, I actually hadn't been looking at you in that light. Never mind that. Yes, you are fine as hell. Yes, you are established. Yes, you are all the boxes are checked off with this guy, right? Those boxes have been checked off, but it's different because he is now in an energy where he is open to the idea of love. And he was open to the idea of love with me. And these females, it's just 2 of them that he told me about. I figured if you're telling me about them, you're being transparent, then I don't have anything to worry about. Well, I give other women a lot more credit than this due them. My ex-husband, he used to tell me, the Muslim husband, he used to tell me that that was a strength and a flaw for me at the same time, the blessed curse. Because he was like, every female is not you. Just because you have never, and you would never, does not mean that the majority of your sisters in the female species feel the same way. Women do shit, and you need to know that. You need, and that will help you to release. Because for a time, I was very unforgiving. I'm not condemning, but I was just unforgiving. Like, I can't keep calling all these bitches my sisters, right? I'm trying to call you sister because I see myself in you, and we are sisters of a sort. We've all been out here in this world that is not equal, even with affirmative action, even with we are still, in so many people's eyes, subspecies. And I don't want to go all pro feminine, pro woman, but people who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. This is a very real, it's an ongoing battle. It's a silent, quiet one. Here's a prime example. This is a conscious rant. Prime example, my baby sister. Well, no, she's not the baby sister. Hi, Hannah. Just if you're seeing and listening from somewhere at any time in your life, from big sister or oldest sister to the baby sister. Hi, beautiful. Hi, I love you. Hi, Hannah. Okay, but the sister that is, you're gonna tell me I have stuff in my teeth. Okay. Anyway, my sister is a certified welder. Came out of this welding school making like between $26 and $29 an hour. None of us had made that much at the point that she did that. And she is a literal underdog. I mean, it's hard for those of us that get married out of high school and you invest in one person happily, like it's not like she was limited to that one partner, but she did exactly what I did. We got, not that she did it because I did it, but she married that high school sweetheart. He joins the military. They go overseas and have their whole life married for 2 or 3 years, and then they have their first child. Then they divorce. Not to just put our business out there, but no one knows me, so I know you don't know my sister, so that part is irrelevant. I'm just giving you some backstory as to how we arrived, because you go from being, you intentionally wanting to be the helper to him, to be his rib, to give him a safe space and a home that you and him share, for the women that I'm talking to. And then you look up after a pregnancy and you find yourself divorced with this child by yourself, and he's bringing hell like you're the one that cheated, like you're the one that broke that marriage up, and judging you while he sits back. For these women who supports him, for my spouses and supporters of our military personnel, when I say thank you for your service to our service members, I am also saying it to your wives and to your children, because it is impossible for you to experience those things that you are celebrating or the things that you are mourning, and you think that the people closest to you don't feel that vibration. Because if they really love you, like all of us love our service members, we all love our husbands, brothers, cousins, sisters, children, parents. We love you. We love our service members for your sacrifice for the country and for us and our family, what it provides for our families. We come up when you come up, and when you are hurt and you are injured emotionally, spiritually, mentally, your wives hurt too, your children hurt too. You suffer from PTSD, everybody in your damn house is suffering with you. That's even if you just have just a standard clinical depression. Don't be chronically depressed. Everyone around you is feeling that. When you have your low days, it impacts the people that are closest to you. That's why it's really there's no point in you climbing into a shell. Because I've done that in my depression, just trying to keep it from everybody. If you keep on having your good day, let me be over here in my shit. Anyway, I'm just saying, my sister, you have the blow of losing the love of your life. And now you are divorced. That's the triple whammy. You are single. And you have a child now, okay? To pick yourself up from that and to take off that skirt as a stay-home wife. Maybe you might work at the PX at best, work at the NAF office at best, okay? Be a federal employee. Some of us do own businesses as spouses. I'm not saying that everyone takes on the homemaker role with no financial contribution to the family. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, in this case, what my sister did and what I did. Well, I didn't even do this part. After struggling for several years, she put herself through school and became a certified welder. Well, so she's a black welder, a black female welder. In every place that she has worked in, except for the first place right out of this welding school, every place she's worked in has paid her, these motherfuckers trying to give her $15 an hour, $13 an hour as a certified welder, next to men who make 24 plus. And $24 an hour is low for a welder. Whenever this shit collapses and the world, when martial law is declared, if it's ever declared, and the shit hit the fan situation, those essential workers in trades like welders will be at the top of the line, at the front of the line, at the top of the chain. They will be there because they are needed to rebuild and to restructure this place. That is what she is. Just struggling. I forget why I said that. I'll come back to that. That part about her being a welder. Okay, but she became that, and the people around her, they don't know her struggle. They don't know who she is or where she comes from. They know that she's making less than them. She's dealing with people who are not used to, number one, not used to having black people who know how to weld. So there ain't even hardly any black men up in there. And it does matter. Like, I'm not racist. I don't go out of my way to hurt anyone or to shame or guilt or to exclude anyone. Okay? But there is a history of what people who look a specific way have done to people who look a specific way. So it's not even what I say about it. It's the history of what has happened. But that doesn't necessarily dictate how I treat people or how I let people treat me. But I do see the difference. And these are people that have seen my sister's light. They see her positivity and how she's walking into this place every day with her head held high. Anyway, held high despite their man. They try over and over and over again to hurt her, to discourage her, to just make her want to quit. And it's like, excuse me, it's like she ain't giving up. She hasn't given up. She ain't giving up. She's not giving up. But these are people who use their gifts for the wrong way, because of what her light pulled her through her situations and gave her some options. But those people are everywhere. People that would just prejudge you. And these people that you're in a position that you could help someone and pull someone up or further them in their career, further them in their spiritual journey, further them in the evolution of them as law-abiding citizens, or further them and evolve them as men and women. And the people choose to gather as a coven and become a coven of kitchen witches. You don't believe in shit, but you're trying to call on the power of the shit that you don't even believe in. Right. I hope that that's not what's been happening. That just came to me intuitively. I just wanted to share. Okay, the tangent is over. I'm done. Saying earlier was just about not moving. We technically are moving. Bye, Mother.
Move, I'll shut the door, boy. Move your hand.
I love you, Mama.
Love you too.
I was running through the 6 with my, whoa. You know how that thing goes. You know how that thing goes. This is a nasty flow.
You got to put it on 0.5.
0.5. It won't let me. Maybe I have to start it over. I'll start it
It's
over.
right there. Not just type it.
I tried.
That's right.
It won't go. Make it. That's right. And especially if you made it this far, thank you so much for joining me on this conscious rant. This one I changed it up just a little bit. I try to do that lately. I wait for the feedback for people to tell me what they like, but also have not invested in the commercials that would get me a bigger following. I'm just getting my feet wet, and so you can expect more in the future. But in the meantime, thank you so much for bearing with me while I learn how to do this, learn to do what I'm doing. This is my journal, my vlog. Not all things, but just some of the juicy things that I want to share with you, and I hope that I'm received well. Okay, again, thanks. It's Tanika. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye. It's the Ricky Smiley Boy. So we just came out to take a lunch nap between the two jobs. I'll be leaving here in just a little bit. I got it just a little longer. So we are almost to the night job from the day job. We're almost there. 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 Dun, 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 dun. Call me again. Drunk in your bench. Trying to hold on to. I forget the damn words. Where is the love? You told me that you didn't. Dama, 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 dama. So it's getting ready to rain. It hasn't started yet, but I know that it's coming. And I'm already like, just like, damn, like I'm really, sorry. I see you. I see you. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Bex. Okay, I'm done with that. We're done. Thank you.
They're $2. We gotta make some money.
Thank you. Yes. Good night. Oklahoma every